Now, in our country, the Donald has been incredibly busy. He's been on a tweet tirade, going after all these people that are trying to steal our culture. Yes, from the media industry to the woke Jews in Hollywood, to all of these idiots, the fraudsters, the scammers, the fake voters stealing our culture, and we are taking it back. All right, Hakeem Low IQ Jeffries in his district. Just pictures of him throwing crap everywhere. California new scum license plate. Bro, the Donald is unstoppable. All right, bro, this is his entire campaign, by the way. It's just Gavin Newsom in a padded room seeing everything as Trump. Democrats love sewage, says Donald Trump. True, by the way, it's true. They're complaining that he's cleaning the pool. This is a real thing, by the way, that the Democrats are currently campaigning on. All right, understand. And JD, Just Dance Vance, has been cooking tremendously as well, shutting down unimaginable amounts of fraud.
We've been hard at work over the last several months trying to make sure that we take care of the people's money and trying to make sure that the services that exist for the betterment of our fellow citizens, whether they're low-income kids who need access to food resources, whether they're low-income families who need access to medical benefits, that those programs are protected for the people who actually need them, that they don't exist to enrich fraudsters, but they exist for the American people for whom Congress has said they're entitled.
It's hard to get the whole machinery of government moving. You need someone with the vice president's abilities, with his gravitas, and with his determination to drive at these issues.
This is very personal because I'm not just the vice president of the United States. I come from a family, and I grew up in a family where we sometimes benefited from these programs. The generosity of the American people is one of the most amazing things about our country.
But too generous, some would even say.
That trust in our government, that trust in our institution, it depends on us taking that trust seriously.
All right, now a lot of people are saying, well, so do things. Stop making speeches, stop doing tweets, and do things. Well, let me introduce you to Representative Jack Kimball. This is a guy. This is a guy, bro. This is a guy. He's a Republican, but he made one of the worst tweets of all time, and we have to make fun of him. Just a friendly warning, we don't even make $200,000 per year in Congress despite working nearly 140 days. We aren't properly compensated. A lot of us will have to go to the private sector, and you will be left with some real idiots in Congress. Right, so a lot of people in Congress keep complaining that they don't make enough money, even though somehow they all end up billionaires. Right, they end up walking out with hundreds of millions of dollars in insider trading and shit. All right, and so this guy says you should have checked what PR is before tweeting it. Basically, because this is a retarded tweet. I don't care what Puerto Rico thinks. No! Jack Kimball, you retard! PR does not stand for Puerto Rico. Yes, so of course, it's insane watching this happen. Now, Governor Ron DeSantis dropped a FAFO on the timeline. Governor of Florida. He had ghetto representative Angie Nixon, Democrat, arrested after she did an illegal sit-in at his office because of the 2026 Florida House map that adds four seats to the GOP.
The building's closed.
Right, so she goes in there, she starts screaming, and he has her arrested. Absolute cinema. They get her out of there. That's right. She melted down. She fafoed. Florida's the goat. No, Florida's awesome. It really is. DeSantis is the best governor in our country. Not even close. So yeah, Democrat representative. She goes in to bitch, which is what most Democrats do. It is ultimate, pure feminism at its highest form. The ability to bitch, unstopped level of bitching. Now you might ask, what do you mean? Women fought for their rights. Really? Did they blow things up? Did they light shit on fire? Did they go to war? They bitched, all right? And they still do to this day. All right, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking, obviously. It's not the only thing they do. It's just most of their firepower. Now, massive voter fraud was uncovered in Illinois. This is everywhere. Newly reappointed non-binary head of the Illinois Department of Human Services, Dolce Quintero, was born in Mexico, reportedly knowingly sent out pre-filled voter application forms to illegal aliens. What is going on? Seriously.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Hessman, Illinois Insider. I just left State Senator Steve McClure's office. I sat down with him to get his thoughts on why he voted no on the appointment of Quintero as the head of DHS here in Illinois. He was a vocal opposition to that appointment yesterday on the Senate floor. Of course, the Democrats pushed that appointment through. Here is why Senator McClure voted no on the appointment of Quintero as the head of DHS.
Well, one of the main concerns is the fact that we discovered about a year and a half ago that DHS has been mailing non-citizens who are applying for state benefits forms to register to vote that are already pre-filled out to the county clerks.
Look, understand how insane this is. Non-citizens are getting pre-filled out voter applications to vote. They'll just sign at the bottom. They probably get a little bit of a check, which is illegal anyway, and then they just vote, and then they steal elections. Understand, the leftist policy worldwide is the rape of your country. It quite literally, they want power, and they don't care how they get it, because it's not like they have any form of moral backbone to any of the things that they stand on. Understand, this is an ad campaign from the Philly sheriff that costed taxpayers $600,000.
Live in the building.
I can't play the music, obviously, but this, a bunch of old, fat women in hijabs dancing cost 600,000 taxpayer dollars. All right? I'm not even exaggerating. This is a real thing, and it should make you angry. All right? Just understand, not only will they rape your country through stolen elections, through fraud, through shit like that, they'll rape your culture. Now, all the people screaming, why does an actor's race matter when they race swap every character ever? Okay, now imagine that they did this. Now imagine that this happened, all right? Let's be honest. I don't think that, you know, Ryan Gosling starring Martin Luther King, you know, Martin Luther King starring Ryan Gosling would work, all right? 12 years as a slave with white actors. I don't know, man. I feel like that wouldn't work, actually. Now, this is systematic white erasure. It is not a mistake. It is not an accident. It is done on purpose. There is no other explanation for this other than the fact that they hate your culture and they want it removed across the West. And it's very obvious that it's not working anymore. Nolan's Odyssey, all right, this is, everyone's talking about this now. We'll talk about this a little more right now. Nolan's Odyssey problem, diversity without Greeks is not diversity. So focused on diversity in the Odyssey, there's no Greeks. Understand, it's a systematic erasing of your culture, and the reason is simple. It's because they hate you, actually. The leftoid worldview is constantly at war with reality. They want to break reality down in front of you. They want you to sit there and tremble and be like, yeah, actually, men could be women. Of course, men could be women, and women could be men, and murdering babies is actually awesome and empowering. And women shouldn't get married or have families or children or husbands, and they should be a girl boss. And yeah, they're not going to be happy, but they're going to be fulfilled if they get cats. Importing infinite retards from the third world with sub 80 IQs is totally going to make our country better, actually. It'll make us more American than even before. Yep, that guy, yeah, he raped a goat 2 days ago, but well, now he has paperwork that says he's just as American as you and I. This is a systematic strategy to say race, culture, identity, ethnicity, none of it matters, none of it's important. All people are just little economic units of carbon whizzing through a nihilistic hellscape. And the moment they convince you that nothing matters and there is no God and there's nothing to fight for and there's nothing to be proud of, well, then the only thing that actually matters is your own personal happiness. Enter the era of infinite orgies and retards. So we got to talk about this because I think it's all part of the same strategies. The woke Jews in Hollywood worked overtime on this Christopher Nolan Odyssey movie. Before getting too deep into the chaos, free cash was promised to me 3,000 years ago. One thing I recently added to my daily routine is using free cash for a few minutes here and there. If I'm gonna play games as a time sponge, I might as well make some money out of it. Free cash is a fun and easy way to earn real money by doing simple tasks while already on your phone. Play games, complete surveys, do simple tasks, and turn your bathroom break into an investment. I've been enjoying playing Call to Dragons on free cash, a high payout strategy-based building game. You get instant payouts with a really easy process through PayPal, Amazon, or Visa. There's already over $250 million paid out to over 60 million users worldwide. It's a win-win. They get someone to test out their games and fill out their surveys, and you get paid. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to sign up and get a $10 bonus today. Now, back to the chaos. Every individual sign up literally supports the channel, so if you could click the link in the description and do the thing, that would be very appreciated.
So they are changing the Odyssey. From the team that brought you Why is Snow White Latina, Why Are There Black People in Rings of Power, and Star Wars Has Gone Woke, comes the latest online onslaught against the diverse cast of the Odyssey.
That's right, baby. It's just people angry for no reason. That's right. Listen, if race really doesn't matter, okay, let's be honest. If race really doesn't matter, then just make them white. then diversity doesn't matter either. If race is irrelevant, then diversity is irrelevant. So if you are actually worried about diversity, then race matters. And if race matters, then why are you changing the race of these people? Like, they live in this infinite paradox where none of the actual things they claim to stand for actually make sense. You know, I'll show you my best example. They'll sit there and look you in the eye and tell you genitals do not actually affirm your gender. Now you have to cut your penis off to affirm your gender. Even in their bullshit simulacrums, their reality doesn't make sense. It's unreal.
This is a real frame of Helen of Troy in the Odyssey, enhanced with grok to see it better. It's ridiculous. Nobody in the world thought Helen of Troy was black. Nobody thought that. If you went and you put a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes and you said, this is Cleopatra, you would have all the people that are defending this attacking you.
You know, bro, I feel like we have to make our own little movie studio at this point, and we'll be able to with AI at some point soon, and we will be an actual counterculture, and we are going to remake some crazy shit and make everyone white. And seriously, we'll see what people have to say. Oh, culture and identity doesn't matter. Okay, we're remaking Harry Potter, but all the Death Eaters are going to be Muslim. We'll see how you like that one.
Remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
And so this is somebody they're boycotting Super Mario Brothers. Oh, this is the guy. John Leguizamo, only Latinos should be playing a Latino, stands there in blatant whiteface taking a check for playing a Greek. So
because they don't actually, they only care about diversity in one direction, actually.
Wait a minute.
I told you, none of their actual values mean anything. They're all lies. All of them. They use words to manipulate you.
I had no problem. He had no problem taking a role.
Are you going to be watching Super Mario Brothers?
No, I will not be watching Super
Mario. Oh my goodness.
So they could have included a Latin character. Messed up the inclusion. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folk. Had some Latin folk.
What do you mean? They did. The Mushroom Kingdom, all the toads, they were all the Latinos. You probably couldn't tell.
The largest people of color group, and we're underrepresented, overrepresented in the worst kind of.
So make your own shit. You know, I'm so tired of this, man. I really am. It's like, oh, but why didn't you? So you make it. You make it. All right. We will be making Black Panther and Wakanda will all be white people. Okay. Like seriously, this is unreal. It's like, why were no women invited to Trump's China summit? I don't know, man. If you're a woman, make $1 trillion company and you'll be invited to Trump's China summit. All right. No one wants to engage with the reality here. It's like, let a black guy make a story about Black James Bond, who's actually fucking awesome, and that'll get adapted to a movie and no one will complain.
Jobs, though.
So no Super Mario Brothers for you?
Hell no.
They have no problem playing this role. Obviously. They don't care about this. They simply...
Because they hate your culture, and it's actually just a war on your culture. That's what the entire media sphere is.
Say this so they can take advantage of you. That's it.
I want to make 3 points that I think
So this is the person right here. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, translated by Emily Wilson.
This is the translator Nolan is using as the basis for his film.
This is like 2016 or 17. No. Imagine what the focus is going to be. Guys, does anybody want to guess?
It's going to be about female empowerment.
Some of the fluffier kinds of press coverage. One is that my being the first woman to translate the Odyssey into English isn't really a headline that should be about me. The headline should be, why is it that this particular field, the field of classical translations of Greek and Roman texts, has been so vastly male-dominated?
It's very simple.
This is it's unbelievable that people are like this.
Why? Almost all of the stories are masculine-focused stories. Men being men, killing other men, men killing beasts, men winning wars, overcoming challenges, and so obviously it's going to appeal to men more. Like,
that's totally true, but there's another thing that's very important. Before women got mind raped by modern retarded culture, they actually believed that there was a value in actually raising a family. So while the man would do some sort of grueling labor or some sort of job or something to bring home some money, the wife would actually take care of the family and children. That's gone now. So now they have time to do this, I guess.
Duh.
Being female doesn't in itself guarantee that you'll have a distinctively female or feminine perspective.
Yeah,
statistically it does, though.
So you had to add that in there yourself. That's great. I'm glad.
Women can be misogynistic perfectly easily. Many women aren't feminist.
Some women are great. What do you mean? Of course, absolutely.
Many women haven't thought about gender whatsoever. For me, one of the most
Did you think about gender today, miss? Oh, I'm sorry.
Important truths I wanted to tell about the Odyssey. That there's an idea that this is the Odyssey. It's about an unproblematically heroic male Western hero, implicitly white, who is good because he crushes the bad guys, monsters, foreigners, and the story has a happy ending because the good guy gets back with the objectified wife and regains all his...
With the wife, who loves him, who's treated so well by him. Yeah, that's awesome, actually. I like a good guy that fucking obliterates the bad guys. No, you don't understand. Yeah, no, you don't understand. Actually killing bad guys is awesome.
Another hag that's trying to ruin our culture because she hates men.
So it's a nice celebration of family values, consumerism, patriarchy, war.
It's a nice...
Oh no, he glorifies family values. No.
Celebration of family values, consumerism, patriarchy, and war. This is the reason...
Let's fucking go!
Why we have so many problems that we do. We have to pretend like this.
We have to pretend that this woman would not be infinitely happier if she wasn't mind raped by feminism and she actually was just a wife who had a loving husband that took care of her and she had children. But instead, she got mind raped and now she's a bitter, disgusting, decrepit bitch that wants to destroy her culture to make herself feel a little bit better.
Stupid, misandrist bitch has something important to say. Just tell these people, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
No.
Superiority of normal male white people over foreigners and girls. I don't think I would like the Odyssey if I thought that was all it was. In fact, I know I wouldn't. I really dislike that poem very intensely. I think the Odyssey itself is a much better poem than that. Quite a lot of translators add in extra words to suggest that they're dehumanized and also to suggest that they've done evil sexual things.
It's a narrative.
Which makes them deserve to die. These creatures, which there's no equivalent for in the Greek. Fitzgerald adds in...
There is no way she is running defense for Greek monsters. It's like, but the Hydra was just trying to live its best life. There is no way. Are the victims human? Does Telemachus think they deserved it? This is brutal, man. Brutal. But the Cyclops was just trying to live peacefully.
Death of a beast to trolls, you sluts. Again, there's nothing equivalent to sluts in the Greek, or trolls. Fagles honours these women with sluts and whores, posing modern versions of misogyny onto this ancient text without interrogating their own, without thinking, how are the misogynies within this text different from my misogynies? How
So it is misogynist. It's just a different kind of misogynist.
Might there be a gap?
This is, again, it's all about misogyny. It's all about how oppressed you are. It's insane how bad this is.
The part I read was book 9 about the Cyclops. I was curious to see the degree to which translators undermine or not recognize...
Were they racist because the Cyclops only had one eye?
What I think is clear in the Greek, which is that Polyphemus is an anthropos. He's a human being.
He's not a human being.
He's a Cyclops. He's a monster. Well, hello? Cyclopses are demigods. They are half Poseidon who had sex with a sea nymph. Okay? All right? What are we doing? It's not a human being objectively in any metric. And they're like, oh, but he was just a guy. It was racism. They hated him because he had one eye.
Thought that his father was like Poseidon or something. That's why Poseidon fucked up the
and he had sex with horses. All right? The Polyphemus is not a human being in any possible way.
What? Polyphemus, that's the name of the Cyclops.
That's the giant Cyclops with the huge rock that had sex with horses that captured the princess and kept her a captive. And I think it was Perseus, the hero that slayed him because he's a vicious, monstrous beast. And it was fucking awesome, actually. All right, get out of here.
And of course, that turns out to be, in problematic ways. But it's not that
It's problematic that they hated the Cyclops. I told you, man.
Of that book is sort of saying right from the start, Odysseus is good, Polyphemus is bad.
Yes, he was a monster, literally.
I felt that just in looking at other translations, there was definitely this tendency to present it in that very simplistic way.
Wasn't he gonna...
You know, some things are actually simplistic. Actually, sometimes the good guys are the good guys that are fighting for virtue or God or family or whatever. And they were up against ruthless, barbaric, monstrous beasts, and killing them is fucking awesome. I'm really tired of, like, this infinite retard psychology that we're all supposed to just sit here and make believe make sense. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it, and I'm done with it. Yes, Trump killing terrorists is fucking awesome, actually, but they were people too. Not anymore. Now they're dead, and it's great. Yeah.
Eat them?
Of course, the Western invader must be the good guy, and the colonial native inhabitant must be the bad guy. Must have.
Yes, the hero was the good guy, and the monster that was trying to kill him was the bad guy. True.
Deserved it. I want to make 3 points.
Oh my god.
This is crazy.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
This is what we get.
Actually, colonialism was pretty fucking awesome, actually, by the way. I don't know if you heard the news. Do you know that Zimbabwe was a shithole before colonialism, and then became a British colony, and then Zimbabwe was awesome, and then colonialism ended, and now Zimbabwe's a shithole again? Can you explain to me? Can you explain to me where it's somewhere over there? Yes! Yes! A transgender warrior. Oh, no. I didn't see how it... That's what I mean. To be fair,
okay, I didn't know how this was gonna go, but I guess that kind of settles it, right?
Wow. I mean, honestly, I told you AI is gonna take over. It really will, and it's awesome. Actually, a lot of people crying about it. No, now we're just gonna stop letting Hollywood gatekeep us. But it gets worse, apparently.
Oh, there's one more Odyssey thing. Okay, if you think Helen of Troy cannot be black, you don't know history.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Let's go. You could just make up black history. I don't know if you knew.
Here we go.
Just for context, this is the lead up to the clip that's going viral.
Apparently, conservatives are freaking out over Christopher Nolan's casting choices for the upcoming epic, The Odyssey. None of these choices are actually, we don't know who's been cast. It's not finalized.
Nolan literally confirmed the Helen of Troy casting 3 days before this.
A little bit of misinformation to start your show.
His Times Magazine interview.
But they are flipping out.
If you are a student of history, you know that scholars have debated for decades the extent to which Greek mythology and civilization were influenced by ancient Egypt and North Africa.
The most simple Google
These people are coping in the most unbelievable way ever.
search would instantly show you these direct quotes from Homer, describing Helen as white-armed and fair-haired. Homer literally names her ethnicity, calling her Achaean, the Bronze Age Greeks of mainland Greece, a southern European population with zero sub-Saharan ancestry. Homer also describes sub-Saharan Africans as a separate, distant people, the Ethiopians, the furthest of men. And this is the earliest surviving color depiction of Helen of Troy in human history.
She white.
It is very clear that Andromeda is described as an Ethiopian princess.
Homer himself never directly calls Andromeda an Ethiopian. That comes from later Greek and Roman sources. But either way, this only strengthens the argument, because Homer makes a direct, deliberate distinction between Ethiopians and Achaeans, and he places Helen firmly on the Achaean side.
This idea was also explored in a book called Black Athena.
Why do some black people have this focus around replacing historical figures and race swapping them and saying...
You want me to tell you why? It's because white people made most things. It's because Western civilization is the greatest civilization in human history. And a lot of people just want to take credit for it. Despite the fact that all these people tell you that your heritage doesn't actually matter, it doesn't matter where you came from or anything like that, they also have to make this little other comment where actually my parents invented all the shit, by the way. I don't know if you heard.
That they were black. It's so weird. Like, I see this constantly. They're trying to, like, rewrite history to, like, include people that are like them. It's a way to claim the culture.
I think people should read it, which argues that classical...
Actually, the reason why Western civilization is really good is because of black people. No, actually, that's not true. I know that's going to offend you, but it's actually not true. There are a lot of great black people, don't get me wrong. The reason why I said Western civilization is awesome is because of God. All right, it's because of the biblical values that founded Western civilization. It's because of Greek philosophy. It's because of Roman law. It's because of Christian civilization. That's right. Sorry, Obama. George Washington was the first black president.
Greek culture is heavily indebted to Afro-Asiatic...
Jamal Washington. You didn't know his true name?
And Near Eastern roots. I actually taught Greek mythology to 8th graders.
A lot of 8th graders know very little about Greek mythology.
And so...
That's the problem.
It is very clear that...
We take these people with agendas and we put them into classes where they teach you history in air quotes, and the history is just whatever the fuck they want it to be.
That Andromeda is described as an Ethiopian princess.
And this is the person teaching kids about Greek mythology. Not one singular mention ever about this in the entirety of Homer's work.
I covered this.
That's the problem. And this is the thing, is that these people, they want to put their ideologies in education. They want to teach your kids this stuff. They literally want...
Did you know that the first transgender person in recorded history was actually probably Alexander the Great or some shit? Who not only was he non-binary, but was also a girl boss. And this is what they do. And they just rape the mind of young kids, and then the kids are like, wow, wow, wow.
Want to rewrite history, race swap things, so they can make themselves look, I guess, like more historically relevant. Like, I don't even know what the term for that is. It's just so stupid.
That are saying that Helen of Troy could not possibly be played by a black woman don't know history.
But what does it matter?
My Google, every picture of a statue shows a white woman. Yeah, I wonder why. But yeah, it is this overwhelming amount of people that are trying to, like, rewrite history and try to include other races of people inside.
Dude, there is an entire contingency of people online that are trying to convince you that Jesus was a Muslim Palestinian. Like, you are not ready, bro.
of European history. A desire for control. Yeah, it's pure tribalism.
I don't understand why you feel the need when there's so much going on in the world, why this is what's upsetting you.
You are literally talking about it right now.
You know what, guys? I think representation matters. I feel so validated. I feel so validated right now.
Ryan Gosling as Barack Obama. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it.